Okay, come on, you people at home, smile. That's it. All right, pick the kids up. Yeah, put the kids in front of the TV set. That's good. How about the dog? Yeah, can the dog do any tricks, or is that it? Dog just sits there? Oh, okay. Well, you know, you always watch me on television. I thought I'd watch you on television for a while. Welcome to Consumer You, the show for you, the consumer. And in a minute, I'll tell you why we have a camcorder on today's show. But first, we're going to look at the events of the day, or the night, depending on when you're viewing this, mostly the night. So we're going to the magic blackboard, and we're going to see the spots. Okay, the first spot, we're calling it Lights Camcorder Action. And that is a spot that I recorded in my very home. I'm going to be doing a lot of this from now on. Remember I used to do a lot of this? Now I'm doing a lot of this. Gadgets Galore. Remember Gadgets Galore was busted in that strip joint on Route 9? No, Gadgets Galore, we have some new, are they high-tech? They're interesting gadgets, fun gadgets. Then tasting, tasting, tasting. That's supposed to sound like testing, testing, testing. We brought more kids to the studio, and we're going to have them taste test 4 kinds of apple juice, see which kind they like best. And then we have something called surprise. Now, I'm going to tell you what surprise really means because our guest left the studio. See, sometimes a guest says they want to be on the show, and we don't know what they are plugging or what they're here to talk about. And sometimes we tape the introductions before we tape the guests. So then we put surprise down there because if they're terrible, then we just book something else. See, that's backstage television. But the surprise guest worked out well. He's going to talk about child-proofing your home. He has some new fabrics and all sorts of new building materials that they're making furniture out of and upholstery out of so that you can have a child-proof home. And then blending in, you may have seen the ads for the Electra-4 blender. Can you get a powerhouse for $8? Dickie D is going to show you. All right, but first I'm going to show you this little camcorder here. This is from Minolta, and what it is I'll explain a little further on the tape. Lots of times I have stuff in my apartment in New York. I can't get it to New Jersey for various reasons, so I bought a camcorder to start shooting little segments in my apartment. This one is from Minolta, and this takes full size. Let's see, this guy goes to there. This takes full-size cassettes, these guys, and you can record for 2 hours with one of those. And the reason I picked this one, high resolution, and it has something called, it goes down to 7 lux, so you can shoot in sort of dim light. Now, as I said, this is a full-size machine. There's another machine, much smaller, that takes VHS-C cassettes. They can record for 20 minutes. They can play on any VCR with an adapter. But these sort of cassettes can play on any VHS deck without an adapter. So we're going to do a commercial, and then we're going to come up, and you will be, through the magic of television, in my apartment. One thing about the segment that was shot with the Minolta is that it has autofocus, little infrared light goes back and forth, and we're showing a crystal ball in that segment, and every time the little infrared light would hit the crystal ball, it would lose track of the focus because of the reflection. So outside of that, the quality of the tape is not bad. The quality of the performer, it may leave something to be desired, but you'll be the judge of that. So first this important word, and then gadgets galore, a new movement for Dickie D. Commercial.
The case has been solved. TKR Cable Program Manager Margaret Ann Behrens is on her way to pay for her crimes. But the American Cancer Society is willing to release her and drop their charges if she can raise money for her bail by May the 9th. In order to do this, she needs help. Your help for her release.
Send your donation to the American Cancer Society, care of TKR Cable Company, 67 Mountain Boulevard Extension, Warren, New Jersey, 07060.
You know what I did? I bought my own camcorder, and I'll tell you why.
sometimes manufacturers lend me things for a short amount of time. I know you think, oh, Dickie, you got to keep all that stuff. We just borrow this stuff, folks. And some manufacturers make it a big deal that we borrow stuff. So what happens is, Consumer U, we only tape it every 3 weeks. We tape 3 shows in a day every 3 weeks. And sometimes I get to borrow something, and a manufacturer wants it back quicker than the 3 weeks. So what I decided to do is buy my own camcorder so we can tape some items at my home. And that way you won't miss out on seeing the latest sort of thing. So I bought him an Alta camera because the salesman, and if the salesman is lying, we're going to rake him over the coals on a future Consumer U. But he said for my purposes, the Minolta was the way to go, because it had 380 lines of resolution. Some ads say it has, or some descriptions I've read said it has 400 lines of resolution. And the more lines of resolution, the higher the quality. However, the quality of the show will not improve because Dickie D is still the host. Okay, we're going to, by the way, if this Minolta camera works out well, we'll actually bring the camera to the studio and show you what we recorded this spot on. Okay, first thing is called Sound FX. I call it the talking crystal ball. You ask it a question and the talking crystal ball will answer it. Crystal ball, is this going to be the best Consumer U spot I ever did?
Consult me later.
Stuffy crystal ball. Crystal ball, was it worth spending $89 to buy you at the Sharper Image?
Unpredictable.
This is the most non-committal crystal ball I've ever seen. Consumer U, are we going to win an ACE award this year on Consumer U?
It is not in the stars.
I hate this crystal ball. I want to win an ACE award. You know, we were nominated for one last year. Let's just ask it again. I was only kidding last time. This time we'll really take your answer seriously. Are we going to win an ACE award for Consumer U?
My sources say possibilities are excellent.
Okay, so you just ask it a couple times. Okay, $89, talking crystal ball. All right, this is called Freedom Stick from Comerica. Freedom Stick is stuck to the table. I'll tell you why. Freedom Stick has suction cups on the back, so when you play video games, it doesn't slide all over the place. But since video games are becoming very popular again, Freedom Stick lets you play video games without a wire between you and your TV set. This little guy's the receiver. It goes on top of the TV set, and Freedom Stick comes with a couple of adapters. Depending on what video game you play, you use the various adapters. This connects to here, then to the back of the set, and then it sends out, I guess, I forget what the red waves are called. What are those red waves called? Oh, they're not ultraviolet. Who knows? I guess ultrasonic waves. And the waves leave here, are picked up by this little receiver, and you can play your video game. You know what I do? I take my Freedom Stick out for walks with me at night, and I look in people's windows, and I play their video games without them knowing it. Drives them nuts. Actually, you couldn't do that. I don't think you can do that. Unless, of course, you pass a house that has one of these receivers. Freedom Stick is available at large toy stores like Toys R Us. I've seen it at the Wiz. And it runs like 30 to 40 buckaroos. Freedom Stick. Okay. Our final thing is called Baby Call. It's from Sony. This one we borrowed from Sharper Image, where they are $79. This guy goes in the crib. It's the transmitter. It's rubberized in case the baby bites it or baby plays with it. This is the antenna, but it's no sharp edges there. The little receiver is worn on your belt. If the baby cries, the transmitter picks it up, the receiver receives it, and you can hear it. You can monitor the baby 100 to 200 feet from the crib, depending on how many walls are in between. I use it for other reasons. If I'm out in the backyard, I leave this by the telephone, carry this with me, I can hear the phone ring. You could put it by your doorbell. If you're down in the basement, if the doorbell rings, this will pick up the sound of the doorbell, the doorbell ringing, and you'll hear it over the receiver here. I showed this on a show called Don't Just Sit There on Nickelodeon. And Wendy said, I have a great idea. I'll carry this in class and have someone outside speak the answers in there. Wendy's going to grow up to be a little hood. Only kidding. She's a real sweet girl. All right, so those are the items on this edition of What's New. And I hope this little thing with the camcorder works out well. And now, another magic thing. I'm going to disappear from sight as we fade to our next thing.
It's another taste test on Consumer U. Can the young people we invited to the studio today tell the difference between generic spaghetti and aluminum foil? Ha! I bet they can't. No, we're doing the taste test to determine which, in our opinion, this is not scientific, but we are having a lot of fun, is the best apple juice out of the 4 we picked. And we have the youngest guest we ever had on Consumer U. And what is our youngest guest's name? That's you.
Christian Blank.
And where do you live, Christian?
Live at New Jersey and New Jersey, and I live at New Brook.
Wow, okay. Sounds like someone from New Jersey. And I'm Dick DeBartolo. Oh, you know about me. Okay, and you are?
Sherry Parker,
And from?
Somerville, New Jersey.
And you go to?
Mega Conception School.
Okay, and finally?
Tammy Chikara,
And where do you go to school, Tammy?
Immaculate Conception.
Oh, good. Okay, Tammy, are you married or single?
Single.
Oh, okay. All right, we have 4 kinds of juice in 4 different cups. Kristen, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know what letter of the alphabet that is? Mm-hmm. What is it?
A.
Whoa, excellent. All right, so we're all going to taste a... Oh, before we do that, let me tell you what we have here. We have Mott's apple juice. We have A&P. A&P, sometimes they do real well on the test, sometimes they don't. A&P brand, we have Seneca. You know, we always should say in favor of A&P is that their prices are always the lowest. So if it's not the best tasting and you don't know the difference, you could save money. We have Seneca. And finally, we have S&W. You know, one of the fun things about this is that Dickie D has been on some network shows, and the network shows won't let us do this kind of thing because somewhere along the line, they're afraid to offend a sponsor. But this is cable, and we can do it. Okay, let's take our cups A. Okay, Christian, this is going to be your cup A. You know what we're going to do, Christian, is take a little sip. There'll be music in the background, which we won't be hearing right now. And what we're going to do is go down the line, and then I'm going to ask you which cup had the best juice. Okay, that was A. Now, do you know what letter that is? Mm-hmm. Which is it?
B.
B. Excellent. Okay, what does B look like again? I forget. Oh, this one. Okay. So this is B. Take a sip. Okay. Now, the next cup letter is? You know what letter that is?
A.
Oh, no. No, you know, I wrote that rather badly. You know what letter that is?
B.
Oh, one more. A, B.
C.
Okay, let's taste C. Okay, and now, I know we're getting pretty far into the alphabet. Do you know what letter that is?
E.
Well, we have to back up one. A, B, C,
B.
okay.
D.
D, okay! 3 out of 4 is not bad, Christian. Okay, wow. Do you have a favorite so far?
A.
A, okay. Christian, out of all of those, out of this one, this one, this one, and this one, did one taste better than the others?
Mm-hmm.
Which one tasted best? This one? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was C. Now, do you have any idea, if we didn't have this one, which of those 3 would you like next? You would like A. Okay, boy, that's real good. I liked D best. Boy, we're going to be all over the lot in this one. And then C. Sherry, you liked A best. Did you have a second choice?
C.
C. Okay. Abby?
A.
You liked A best? And what did you like second best?
C.
C. Okay. Well, interesting. Okay, we have. What do we have? You think Uncle Dickie can read letters? No, Uncle Dickie can't. All right. So in first place, we have 2 A's. So only by 50% did people like A. In second place, we had 3 C's. So we're going to say that people liked A the best. A was S and W. All right, let's show that. This is what we liked best. Where is S and W? All right, we like this best among the 4 of us. We're playing statistics. 50% of this taste panel liked S and W best. And in second place, 3 of us put Mott's. So Mott's is in second place. So among the 4 of us, these were our favorites. S&W first, and Mott's second. And the other 2 of us, we had dividing opinions as to what the best was. One of us thought D was, which was Seneca, and one of us thought, oh boy, no one said D brand. Okay, it means I can't shop there for 2 months. That's over the penalty over there. It's getting thrown out of the A&P. Well, Kristen, you are our youngest guest, and you were excellent. Would you like a career in show business?
Yeah.
Would you like your own half-hour show? You think you can handle a half-hour a week? You can? What will you do on a half-hour show?
A.
A? Do the alphabet? Yeah, I don't think we'll hold up for a whole half hour, but it's a start. Okay, we'll be back with more right after this.
Next stop, George's Station Restaurant in the heart of Bound Brook. George's is your ticket to a great dining experience for the entire family. When you're thinking lunch, think George's for the freshest, best-tasting seafood, steaks, ribs, and chicken. When you're thinking dinner, think George's for the best in Italian specialties, sautéed French delights, or anything you desire. So hop the train or follow the tracks to George's Station Restaurant on Main Street in Bound Brook. Because when it comes to dining, if George can't make you happy, no one will. All aboard!
On many TV programs, difficult family crises are resolved in half an hour.
Cut. We gotta have that faster. Quiet on the set.
But solving real problems that face our families today is never simple.
Okay, action. I can't believe it's...
That's why the Salvation Army's family programs are available to help families with their needs.
Cut. That's a wrap.
Because long after TV fades to black, real families need help to continue building strength. The Salvation Army, believing in families.
When our next guest called and said he was an interior designer who'd like to be on the show, I said, nah. When he said he was going to show us how to child-proof walls and furnishings, I said, nah. When he said, Dick, we're going to let you draw and scribble on fabric, I said, oh, okay. So let's welcome Arthur Lewis. Arthur, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Dick. It's very nice to be here.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well,
we are going to end up with...
We're going to play kids today.
We're going to play kids. That's what sold the spot.
Right. We're going to scribble on some upholstery vinyl that normally doesn't clean, and this will.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Oh, good.
The point is most people today have kids in their family, and the problem is they say, well, what's the point of decorating? The kids are going to wreck the place. And even if we did, we don't know where to start. Well, I'm going to try to answer some of those in a very short period of time.
You got it.
Magazines. What are they there for? They're decorating magazines. In them, there are pictures of all types of things. As you go through, I suggest you write down on the page, I like the color of that room. You go to another page and you say, I like that print.
Don't tear it up.
Tear it out each time. Yeah, tear it out.
Okay.
Then you go to another page and you could say, oh, I like the window treatments on that page. Now that basically is how you want to set up a file. Window treatments, upholstery fabrics, wall colors, mood of room, and after a while you're really developing your particular style. Problem is sometimes the magazine is not at home. It's in the doctor's office. And when that happens, I suggest that you use what I call the cough and tear method. It's very simple. You just look to your right, you look to your left, make sure no one is looking, and then you go like that, and you've got that copy.
I hope your doctor's watching.
My doctor is suing. He wants all the pages back.
But don't go to Arthur's doctors because all the good pictures are gone.
You can come to my house.
Oh, okay.
I've got
you
them
have all the
for
pictures.
years.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something else that everybody's intimidated by. This happens to be a floor plan. And a floor plan basically is just measuring around a room and reducing it to size. Let's say, for instance, to get it on one sheet of paper, 1/4 of an inch would equal a foot. And you measure from one corner of the room to where the window is and write down how long that is and put it down in scale.
Arthur, do you need graph paper to do this?
No, you really don't. Just measure it. If graph paper is easier, it's to 1/4 inch, you can do it on that. Then you put down where the windows are and you fill in the walls, leave the windows open, and working around the room you indicate all the walls and the doorways and the fireplaces. Now, what's so interesting about this is that once you've got this, everything is going to fit into the room. Now you might ask me, Arthur, what are those little red feet for?
Arthur, what are those little red feet for?
I knew you were going to say that. These little red feet were not making grapes, or stamping grapes. What they were really doing is showing the traffic pattern. What that simply means is from one doorway to another, people walk in and out of a room. If it became difficult to do by walking around furniture, it wouldn't be any fun. So all I say is show where the traffic pattern is once you've done that and arrange the furniture away from it. It makes good sense. That way you're not circling around all of those things. That's all there is to it. When you go shopping...
But this house assumes that people only go that one direction.
Well, if it has 2 doorways, they're not going to go out the window, right?
No, there are footprints only in one direction.
Right, on the ceiling.
Okay. I just wanted you to be aware of that.
But the thing is to take that with you when you go shopping, because then the furniture that you've placed in the right position, that's the right size, if you have that scale, you can't make a mistake. You just don't buy anything that's too big for the room. Now you talk about kid-proof decorating. Well, there's a lot of new exciting products out there. This is called Avenite. Avenite comes in many different colors, different types of granites and marbles, and what's so nice about this is a space-age polymer product.
But Arthur, are we talking about this now as a flooring?
No. As a matter of fact, they're coming out with a flooring, but right now it's for countertops and even making furniture out of this. What's great about it is it can be polished or dull finished. You can drill it and cut it with a saw just like wood, and it really holds up beautifully.
Arthur, how many people cut and drill into their furniture?
Well, while they're making it, they better.
While they're making it? Okay, all right.
But if it scratches, you can get that scratch out with a teeny little piece of fine sandpaper and it's gone. Now, you've all seen countertop material over the years, but this is a wonderful new product called Wilson Art. They've been in the business for many years, but what's interesting now is they're doing products that look like granite, that look like cork, and even this iridescent quality, which I think is very unusual looking, and I've even matched hardware to it. What's nice about this is it's tough as a kitchen counter, yet you can also make bedroom furniture, living room furniture, anything you want out of it.
Now Arthur, are manufacturers building furniture out of this now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's becoming more and more popular as time goes by. Now, this is an unusual product. This is called Boltaflex, and it has a prefix finish on it. And it's actually an upholstery vinyl. You would say, well, big deal. What's so unusual about this? But truly, it comes in all of these warm colors, in all of these cool colors, and even these brand new ones, which are very bright and a lot of fun for kids. You know, they want really, well, I mean, who makes the mess? So why not use this in an area? Well, then for you too, you see that? But what I'm going to show you is that it's also very, very soft, as you can see here. It has a really nice feel to it. This is a vinyl. It's a vinyl. But it looks like a nice, expensive Italian leather, yet it sells for about 10 bucks a yard. But what's truly amazing about this, Dick, is that it does not stain. And that's almost unbelievable.
Is this the part I've been waiting for?
This is the part. Now let's see what you can do with a ballpoint pen, which would ruin any vinyl. Little scribbles.
Truly.
Oh, well, don't go crazy here now.
Is this too hard to tell?
Yeah, and then, well, it's a short show, right? And he wrote his name. Well, you're not that young if you can spell. And let's say you're putting on some nail polish and you get it all over there, or some spray paint, or just about anything. Now, that looks pretty difficult to get off. If you'll hold that for me for a moment, I'm going to take some ordinary rubbing alcohol. And the first time I did this, I thought I was really in trouble because this is what happened. It looks like nothing's happening. But in actuality,
part of it's coming up.
it's just removing the residue. And that's all the alcohol is supposed to do. Then, that's as far as you can go with most vinyls. But with the Boltaflex vinyl, what you can do is then use
Boltaflex cleaner.
No.
What?
Nail polish remover, which is primarily acetone. Now, look at this.
Oh, this is great.
Acetone would burn through and melt any other vinyl. This is the only vinyl in the world that can be cleaned that way.
Could you actually use acetone if you didn't have nail polish?
You could use acetone, right. But the reason we're showing it with nail polish remover is just about every woman in the world wears nail polish at some time or another, and it's off. And that's all there is to it. And you can do it over and over again. It has no time limit. Now you say, well, you got to put it on expensive furniture to look good. But here is a sectional, and this particular sectional is under $1,000. And yet it has a lot of seating. It's very comfortable. And here is one that I did in a very expensive home. They had the money, but the problem is they had kids too. And they said, okay, we'll decorate, but what can you do to really make it look good? We ended up using the Boltaflex. This was a $7,000 sectional. But look how fabulous it works out in the room. So there really is such a thing as kid-proof decorating, even for you.
Even for me. Okay, Arthur, thank you very much. That was very interesting, and we'll see each other. We were talking before, and we evidently are both ending up on American Magazine.
Absolutely.
So see you in Nashville. Thanks for visiting here.
Thank you,
right,
Dick.
bye. We'll be back right after this. Let me draw on that while he's away.
Let me clean that just in a minute.
40 years ago, the United Nations wrote and adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article number 10 says, everyone is equally entitled to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal. There are 29 other rights guaranteed in this document. You should know them. Governments must be held accountable to the people. Phone 1-800-55-AMNESTY.
That's it for this edition of Consumer U. Just a quick little note, when you're looking through your mail, don't be misled when you see things like this says Speed Express, this says Special Dispatch, this one says U.S. Express, Priority Express. Now I was talking to the mailman, and the mailman said when it carries bulk rate postage, that no matter what it says on the envelope, it's just going out as third class or fourth class or bulk mail. So don't be alarmed when you see all these weird things on envelopes. It's just a way to try and get you to open the envelope faster. I'm going to close with my favorite ad that I've seen in a long time. It's for the GFX 100 indoor TV dish antenna. And I'm just going to read you some of the copy. This is great copy. It says, the GFX 100 looks like an outdoor satellite dish, but it works like ordinary rabbit ears. Isn't that encouraging? You pay no cable fees because you're not getting cable. You pay no satellite fees because you're not using satellite technology. Legal in all 50 states. This guy should work for Mad Magazine. And this is compatible with TV sets from 3 inches to giant 7-footers. No technical razzle-dazzle, just the aesthetic superiority of the elegant parabolic design. You know, parabolic means, have you ever seen these things in the store? They're like little plastic dishes. But that I love. That's my favorite line of all time. You pay no cable fees because you're not getting cable. You know, they could add to it. You save on gasoline because this antenna uses no gasoline. Not only that, this antenna does not have to be declared on your federal income tax. I mean, we could go on like this. I love this. Okay, that's it for this edition of Consumer U. But I want you to write down this date, May 25th. If you can come to the studio, it's our anniversary. We'll be doing our 52nd live show. 1 year, not live, but 50 seconds new show. Please call the station, 356-1013, if you can come to the studio to view. Take part in the taste test. You can do just about anything you want on television that day. Okay, so call Carolyn Herring, 356-1013, and join us on our 52nd show anniversary, May 25th, 1989. So I hope we'll be in the studio then. Till then, Dick DeBartolo saying goodbye, B-U-Y. Bye. Welcome to Consumer You, the show for you, the consumer. Right at the top of this show, I want to say, May 25th, we're celebrating the anniversary of Consumer You. We'll be doing our 52nd live show, and we'd love for people to come to the studio. You can be on camera, you can do just about anything you want. Please join us for that. Maybe I'll even spring for some snacks, who knows? May 25th, maybe you'll take part in the taste test, maybe we'll interview you, maybe you'll plug your business. Maybe you'll come down and plug me. Hopefully a joke. Okay, what are the spots on today's show? I haven't the vaguest idea, but we have a blackboard for that very reason. Okay, cookie cut-ups. We got 4 young people. Actually, it was 3 young people and myself, but I consider myself a youngster. And we are taste testing 4 different brands of oatmeal raisin cookies. Which one did we like best? And then microwave or micro-rave. Now, remember last week I showed you that we bought a Wii. I like the Wii stuff. I paid for it. It's in my apartment. A video camera so that I could tape things outside the studio. Took it to someone's house and baked 2 microwave cakes. And we'll let you judge which one came out most like the picture on the box. And you have to sort of listen to what I say carefully, because one cake is a microwave cake and another cake is a micro-rave cake. And once in a while, I mess the names up, even in that spot that you're going to see. But the boxes will be clearly marked. And then blending in. This is a spot that we were supposed to do on a previous show. We didn't have time for it. So we're going to do it on this show. And that's how much value do you get when you spend $8 for a mail order blender. And just a quick thing on mail order. Someone called up and said, Dick, I'm going to enter this contest, and no matter what happens, I've already won a gift certificate for $220, and it was $5.97 registration fee. They said, how could I possibly get cheated? Well, what you have to realize, I also entered that contest. What you get is a $220 check. Now, it's not a gift certificate. It is a check that can only be used toward the purchase of merchandise that they are selling. For example, you can get this $499 television set. You deduct the check, which is $220, so that $220, $320, $420, so the TV set is like $280. But in checking discount places, you can get a very similar set for almost less money. Okay, a lot on this edition of Consumer You, so stay tuned no matter what you do. Got it?
Next stop, George's Station Restaurant in the heart of Bound Brook. George's is your ticket to a great dining experience for the entire family. When you're thinking lunch, think George's for the freshest, best-tasting seafood, steaks, ribs, and chicken. When you're thinking dinner, think George's for the best in Italian specialties, sautéed French delights, or anything you desire. So hop the train or follow the tracks to George's Station Restaurant on Main Street in Bound Brook. Because when it comes to dining, if George can't make you happy, no one will. All aboard!
It's time for another taste test, the thing that public television neglects to do. We have some young people here today, and it's going to be sort of a tough taste test. Can they tell the difference between mixed vegetables and Skippy peanut butter? Just kidding, guys. The taste test today is oatmeal cookies. It's the fun part of the show where we put all of this stuff on an expense account and then eat it. We have 4 kinds of cookies. We have Almost Home, oatmeal raisin. We have Pepperidge Farm, oatmeal raisin. We have Keebler Soft Batch, oatmeal raisin. And finally, Sunshine Country Style oatmeal cookies baked with raisins. You know, the funny thing about doing these taste tests, it's so hard to find 4 products the same. You know, some of them are wild Irish oatmeal, and some of the other cinnamon with nuts. But we have 4 cinnamon raisin cookies. Now let's meet our taste testers. And you are?
My name is Paula Tikella.
Paula, and where are you from, Paula?
Somerville, New Jersey.
Okay, and you're going to school?
Yes, Immaculate Conception.
Good, okay, and?
My name is Sherry Ann Palco, and I go to Immaculate Conception School, and I live in Somerville, New Jersey.
Oh, you guys in the same class?
No.
Different classes.
Different classes, okay. And you are?
Danny Palco, and I go to Mack Hill Conception School in Somerville, New Jersey.
Good, okay. You guys all like cookies, I hope?
Yes.
All right, what we're all going to do is we're all going to take a cookie A, just start chomping on it. I asked them earlier if they wanted something to wash it down with, you know, like water, because that's how cheap we are, and they said no. So we're going to all eat a little A, and we're going to remind Carolyn Herring to play the music loud, because a whole lot of crunching going on. By the way, guys, just for your own information, the bags are not next to the dishes, so that is no indication. Boy, well, I'm not going to tell you what I thought about that cookie. That was A. This is cookie B. Cookie B. And at the end, you just want you to, you know, keep them in some sort of order so you know which one you like best, if you can. Okay, this is cookie B. Cookie B is, my dentist would recommend cookie B because it's really hard and it could knock out some fillings and he could make a lot of money. All right, that's L cookie B. By the way, it's probably the third time I mentioned it on the show. May 25th, come to the studio, our anniversary show. Be in one of these taste tests. Plug your business. We're going to be so crazy that day. It's going to be really crazy if no one shows up. Okay, that was B. Okay, remember what you like out of A and B so far, and C. And Danny, there you go. Okay. People who watch the show regularly, we have no A&P cookies today because we could not find A&P raisin cookies. A&P is right across the street from the studio. I'm very big over A&P because a lot of times we like their stuff and sometimes we don't like their stuff. And the people at the cash register go, "Hey, what are you knocking today?" I'm not knocking anything today because we have some A&P stuff in our next taste test. You know which one you like so far?
Yes.
Okay. And D. You folks at home, here, can you reach into the set? Take that, there you go. Can you get it? Oh, that person got it. Oh, okay. And now D. Boy, you know, there's a wildly different flavor. When we did the Coke Pepsi taste test, people really had a hard time telling you. They all seem to have different flavors, don't they, on this? Mm-hmm. And we did the water test. That's my favorite. We're going to show a little bit of the water test on the anniversary show. People came in and said, I know bottled water. I know bottled water. Two of them picked tap water. Okay. Do you know what you like best? Paula, what did you like best?
I like letter C.
Letter C best. Okay. Did you have a second runner-up?
Yes, letter D.
D. Okay. I liked D, and then I liked C. Sherry?
I like C.
You like C first?
And then I liked A.
And then A. Okay. And Danny, you could cast the decisive vote here.
C and then D.
C. Oh, wow. So 1, 2, 3 of us like C. With 4 people, that comes to 75% of this audience liked C. And it was, anybody got any guesses what C was? No, you guys are not. No, did you know what it was? No.
Not
okay.
sure.
Okay. C was Almost Home. Boy, that's good because I think in another show we really creamed them. But in Oatmeal Raisin, Almost Home, 3 of the 4 of us liked it. By the way, you know, if you ever think about statistics, now, if they only used the 4 of us in an ad, they could say that 75% of the people polled liked Almost Home best. And that would be true. Of course, it's a very small sampling. Someone in the audience is saying, please, we want to eat something, we want to eat something. All right, and was there any clear favorite for second? My second favorite was C. My favorite was D. I was alone in my favorite, but everybody else's second favorite was D. So D was Pepperidge Farm. So Almost Home we liked best, Pepperidge Farm we liked second best. Did you guys have fun?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the most exciting day of your life?
Yes.
Yes? I was going to ask you, is this the most exciting thing that happened to you today? Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Some of you are coming back, and we're going to do another taste test. And in a future week, we're going to do Free Inside. That's another one of my favorite things. We buy all the cereals that say Free Inside, and we open them here on camera, and we show you what's free inside so that you can go out and buy it if you like it, or pass that cereal by if you don't like it. Isn't that a great nutritional way to approach cereal, by what's free inside? Okay, we'll be back But watch another new movement. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Bart Oates. You've seen me on the field, but I work behind the scenes for organizations like SHARE, a food program in New York and New Jersey. SHARE can offer you and your family 40 pounds of fresh food for only $12 and 2 hours of community service per month. To learn more, call the SHARE location near you.
Hi, this is Larry Linville, known to many of you as good old ferret face, and every time I'm in Middlesex, I always watch Channel 6. Is there any other?
Hi, and welcome to the test kitchens of Consumer U. Didn't the people building sets do a nice job on this kitchen? Actually, this is another one of those little segments that we're doing with a home video camera. So if there's a little buzz in the sound or the lighting's not great, it's because we're not in the studio. We figured this is a way to a shortcut. Instead of packing stuff and dragging it out to the studio, now I pack stuff and take it to someone's house. I couldn't do this in my own house because I do not keep a neat kitchen. I scrubbed my kitchen 5 years ago, and you want to know something? It needs it again. So we came here because this looks pretty good. We had a few problems lighting it because the light bounces off the refrigerator and stuff. So bear with us because this is what cable is all about. Winging it is what cable's all about. You know what we're going to do today? We're going to bake 2 microwave cakes, and we're going to see if they taste good and if they look like the pictures on the box. We have a microwave cake from Pillsbury, and we have a micro-rave cake from Betty Crocker. Name's a little confusing, microwave and micro-rave. I had a coupon the other day for a dog food called Moist and Beefy, and I bought a product, got to the register, and I had accidentally picked up Moist and Beefy. It's very confusing when manufacturers make products that are so close in name. At least these 2 boxes look different. The 2 dog food packages look exactly alike. Okay, let's start with our microwave cake. You know what this is all about? This is a way that I can bake 2 cakes and write off the expense. All right, now, what does it say here? It says, combine cake mix, water, egg, and vegetable oil. Okay. First of all, if this was so easy, why do you need an egg? Why do you need a vegetable oil? I don't have any of those things in my house. This is going to be a lot of laughs. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. You know what I love? They made a little notch in the plastic pouch. Opening those plastic things are terrible. I'm not a good cook. That's why if I can make this successfully, anybody can make it. I tried one of these in my house the other day. You know how in the box it shows you at that time? Mine came out this high. But I must admit, I took some shortcuts. I don't have any eggs. So what did I use for eggs? Peanut butter. Substituted peanut butter for the eggs. And I had no cooking oil, so I used evaporated milk. Talk about awful. Okay. All right. Put batter in pan. Add 2/3 of a cup of water. We've pre-measured that. And then 1/3 of a cup of oil. Few people want to dance while I do this. Feel free to do that. Okay, there's 1/3 of a cup right there. We're not plugging any particular product, but in case this tastes good, I'll tell you what we decided to use. Mazola corn oil. There is no cholesterol. Although I like cholesterol. I will add some cholesterol on my own. And we have to add 1 egg. Yeah, 1 egg. By the way, do you know how to test for eggs being fresh? You put eggs in a pan of cold water, and those that float are no good. Is that correct? Yeah, okay. Those that float are no good. And another thing that I'll tell you is that if you keep eggs for like more than 2 or 3 years, I know that they're not good, because the ones that I had were no good, and I had them from 2 years ago Thanksgiving. All right, now we're going to mix this guy up. Let's see if there's, you know what I love is when they tell you like stir 75 times. Combined cake, beat with a spoon. Isn't that funny? 75 strokes. That must be the universal, that must be the universal mixing arrangement here, is 75 strokes. I may have a stroke just doing this here alone. Something to me. Now, after I get this in the oven, I will, this is, you know what we forgot the overhead camera shot. Look at this. Hey, this looks pretty good. Do you eat batter when you cook? I do. You know, when I was a kid, I used to make chocolate chip cookies and eat most of the batter. The recipe would say make 75 cookies. I would get 5. And then, guess what I did? When I moved in to New York City on my own, I made chocolate chip cookies and I started eating the batter, and I suddenly realized that my mother would not yell at me. So I shut the oven off and I ate the entire batch of chocolate chip cookies without eating them. And it was so good that the following week I made a double batch of chocolate chip cookies and I ate them without cooking them. And then the third week I got deathly ill. And so now I only eat about half a batch of uncooked chocolate chip cookies. That's it. That was pretty simple. That was 73 and a half. Now we're going for the 75. Let me make sure you don't have to, I hope you don't have to grease the pan. I really loathe working around the kitchen here, so I don't want to break up any lumps. Fat chance. I broke up as many as I'm breaking up. Pour batter into prepared pan. Oh no! What do they mean prepared pan? Comes with its own. Pour batter into prepared. What does it say? This specially formulated. Use solid shortening. Grease pan. All right. I'm gonna have to open this refrigerator. I hate this. Da, da, da. I'm going to use butter to grease this pan. You know what? This is a demerit right away. Why don't they pre-grease the pan? You know, put some Teflon chemicals in it, something. Now this is getting to be work. This is getting, the only good thing about this, oh, I can't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you why this is live television. This pan is broken. Hello, can you see the crack in the pan? So now we have another slight disadvantage here, and that is that, see, we only have one camera. We have nothing to cut away to, but I'm going to lean out of frame and get another microwave, a different microwave pan. And hang on a second, you people talk to yourselves over there. We're going to bake it in a stove-top stuffing pan, okay? Yeah, you can tell that I'm really the chef here. This is from microwave stove-top stuffing. You know, there's something very funny about microwave cooking. Now, I do nothing but microwave cooking. And when you get used to doing stuff in a hurry, you know, food, you cook stuff in like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Once I picked up something and I got it home and it said microwave for 8 minutes turn and microwave for 8 minutes more, I said, what are they, nuts? Who has 16 minutes to cook? All right, so, well, that is very bad. There's no way when you buy one of these cakes that you can tell if the pan has a crack in it or not. All right, now. All right. Did I do everything? Oil, yeah, but eggs, okay. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, look at, just like they do on television. Oh, boy. This looks pretty good. Actually, this smells wonderful. Actually, what does it taste like? I tell you, it tastes a little watery to me. I think if I were doing this again, I'd probably use milk. But we're making it just what the recipe calls for. I'm going to mix the other one up in a second and cook on high for 6.5 to 8 minutes. Microwave 500 watts. Okay. I'm going to cook it for 7 minutes. Hang on. I'll talk to you. I want to be just like those people on television who can do two things, you know, talk to you. So let's see. We do power is high and we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and start. Okay, 7 minutes. You know, one of the things, hang on, one of the things you have to be careful of with microwave recipes is that if you have one of those little microwave ovens, you are in big trouble. Now, I'll tell you why. Being a microwave king, I have 3 microwaves. One of them is the little 400 watt guy. And if this says 8 minutes, you probably have to cook it for almost twice that in one of those 400. Most powerful microwaves are about 700 watts. But the little guys can be as little as 400 watts. So make adjustments accordingly. Okay. All right, well, that guy's cooking for 8 minutes. We're going to start cake 2. And let's see now. Microwave. Empty. This is going to be another... hang on here. Microwave. All right, here's the frosting. All right, empty. Oh, you know what? Did our other guy, hang on. Someday we'll get our act down together here. I don't think this one did not come with frosting. Ooh, another thing to buy. This has everything in it. This has frosting in it. This has, all right. Empty cake mix into medium bowl. We're going to use the same bowl. You think I'm going to dirty 2 bowls? If I would dirty 2 bowls, I wouldn't be doing microwave cooking. Stir in a half a cup of water, a quarter. If you knew what was going on at this very moment, you would be amazed. Let's see. Water, vegetable oil, and 1 egg. Okay. Okay. We have a little schnauzer running around because we're thinking of doing that little dog food taste test later on. Hi, Mike. Yeah, a little schnauzer guy here. All right, so there's the cake mix. And how much oil? 1 egg, half a cup of water. All right, so we used water in the other one. We'll use water in this one. Yeah, just stay there, folks. Ooh, boy, water and, all right, half a cup. All right, and how much? Quarter cup of vegetable oil. You know, amazingly, probably when I finish this one, the other one will just be ready. Boy, oh boy, you know, this thing is very foggy. I got to give these people a break. What I did was mess this cup up with the oil and water, so I'm going to put on specs here and make sure I have a quarter cup of oil. Wow, I do. Okay, Dicky-D. And now 1 egg. How do we test for freshness? Put them in a bowl of water, and the ones that float are no good. All right, got that there. We're done with that cup. Let me see if it says 75 strokes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, beat for 1 minute. They're a little different. Okay. All right. You want to know something? Is that I've been trying to, oh yeah, very good. You'll have to tell me if you like this or not. I'll tell you the reason why. I've been watching other cable shows, and boy, I've seen people tie their shoelace for a half an hour. And I've always been afraid to do things that take more than 5 or 6 minutes on the show because you people would get bored. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a few things. Cameraman sleeping and yawning. Sleeping and yawning, those are my attorneys. All right. Boy, this, you know what, this one doesn't have any lumps. That other one, it said beat the lumps out of it. This one says just for, this smells, I tell you folks, I don't want to be prejudiced, but smell-wise, this one smells much nicer than the other one. We have no affinity with either of these companies, by the way. Except we hope the winner is watching and will send us about 9 free cases of this stuff. Okay, that's it. It just smells good. Whoa! Doesn't taste good at all. All right, turn on high for 2 minutes. Microwave 2 minutes longer. Oh, it's only a 4-minute cake. Important because ovens are various, right? Spread in ungreased. Another brownie point for this company. An ungreased pan, that's my kind of cooking. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it this way so that you can watch. And then you know what we're going to do? Through the magic of television, we're going to fade the camera. And when the camera fades up again, these two cakes will be cooked and will be on this counter side by side. So I'm sure you're going to want to stay tuned for that. And the magic time has passed. The cakes are out of the microwave. If you could smell the scent of baked goods in here, you would be daydreaming. Neither one of these things smells. Actually, one of these does smell. Okay, we're going to look at the microwave first. That's this guy here. Let's zoom in on that. Can we? I'm going to move this guy out of the way. Okay, let's see that box. Look at that great picture, and ta-da! There is the cake. Actually, it's not so bad looking. Now you want to pan over to the microwave, and let's reveal the microwave cake. Now, as far as testing them goes, I actually liked the microwave better. And the cameraman liked the microwave cake better. They taste pretty good. When they first come out of the oven, they look like two giant blocks of soap. But they're not bad. My nod goes to the microwave cake because it comes with the frosting. This is the kind of thing I'm not nutty about. Is, you know, when you pick up the two boxes, it looks like you have two complete cake kits. But this one, the Pillsbury, did not include the frosting. And then when you read the fine print, it says, put on serving plate, cool, frost top if desired. Ha! Frost. Who's going to eat a cake without frosting it? So this guy has the little bag of frosting in it. We didn't put the frosting on because we wanted you to see them, what they look like au naturel. So, well, I think we've learned an awful lot here. I think this has been a valuable lesson. And if you want a microwave cake, look for microwave. If you have anything that you want us to test, drop us a note. We'll be back in the studio after this message. Okay. Bye. Bon appetit. That's coffee.
Okay, that's almost it for this edition of Consumer U. I said it's sit down. I said it's almost it for this edition of Consumer U. We have one more item. I'm going to show you, it's a very bad copy because I Xeroxed the original ad, but this is the ad for the Electra Mixer Blender for only $5 and $3 shipping and handling. So the Electra 4 electric mixer blender comes to $8. What kind of a blender can you get for $8? Oh, we're going to show you, folks. If you send your $8 plus tax in certain areas, what you get. Okay, this is the little guy. That's the little speed dimming Electra. Now, I don't know if you can tell it in the ad. We don't need a close-up again, but the person there is making a strawberry milkshake. What do we do on Consumer U? We test everything. Provided it's cheap and we can afford it, we test everything. So we got our Electra blender. We'll put it on the side. We have fresh strawberries. And we will cut a couple into some pieces here. I guess in half should be good enough. And we'll cut this one in quarters and we'll throw it in there. And we'll do another couple. All right, that should be, we'll do one more after that. And you know, we had a lot of kids on the show today, and I'm sure they're all going to want strawberry shake. So we'll put in an extra strawberry. We're going to whip this stuff into some neat shakes. Probably don't want too much of the little end pieces there. Okay, and some half and half. And now it's strawberry shake time. Well, guess what? That's what we found about the Electra mixer. It cannot mix and make the shake as shown in the picture. Maybe if we use skim milk, but this little guy just stalls. So if you see the ad for the Electra blender for $8, that's what you get for your money. Okay, until the next time, this is Dick DeBartolo reminding you, I don't want to forget this, Write down on your calendar, May 25th, our anniversary show. 52 new shows. We're celebrating, having done 52 brand new shows. We want you to come to the studio and do just about anything. Remember, we're saying just about anything. It's on May 25th. Call our director, Carolyn Herring, 356-1013, and be here in the studio. And you'll have a lot of fun. Possibly a lot of fun. As your consumer report, I don't want to be dishonest. Okay, till next time, Dick DeBartolo. Bye. Another new movement. Notice this is a whole new movement for the show. Bye.